Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back within the community this week. I'm Tiffany K, and I'm very excited to have my guests in with me today from the Salvation Army. I have Laura, who's the office manager there, and also Captain Nathan. How are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing very good. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for coming in. Now, I know we all hear about the Salvation Army growing up. It's kind of more in our normal rhetoric of everyday language, but some people may not know exactly what that is. You hear about it all the time, but no one really defines it for us. So that's where I want to start at the beginning. Who is the Salvation Army and what is your mission?
So the Salvation Army, a lot of the public probably knows us at Christmas time with our red kettles and the bell ringing, and probably have shopped at maybe some of our thrift stores, our family stores before. But the Salvation Army really is so much more than that. Even here locally, we have been in the Fredericksburg area since 1885.
Oh, wow.
And so we have a long history of service to our community. And that's really who we are and what we're all about. We're about bringing hope to people. We're about serving needs, human needs. Our mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in his name without discrimination. And so everything that we do in service to this community comes from that place of being grounded in a belief in the Bible and motivated by the love of God to then go out and as best we can, touch the lives of those in our community, especially those who are a little bit down on their luck, maybe struggling a bit, and doing all we can to bring some hope, to bring some assistance, to try to improve their life as best as we can.
And as you said, it is true. We all see it in the community, the red kettle during Christmas time, and then we're kind of like, oh, wait, where'd they go? And you're still around. So we want to make sure that's aware for the community. And
we are still around. And it's a perfect example of what we do with that, our fundraising campaign at Christmas time with the kettles is all the money that we raise at Christmas. It is our largest fundraiser. It's what we're best known for. But that money really goes to help us provide our programs and services to the community throughout the entire year.
Okay.
So that money stretches out for the whole year into our social service programs that we have. And that's helping people in all different ways, whether that's through utility assistance, whether that's through our food pantry, our emergency assistance where people can come in. There's a lot of different things that we do throughout the year, seasonal programs, and just everything that we do and raise from those kettle programs goes to right back into this community to help those in need.
And of course, we're going to get into some of those programs I want to in just a second, but you were talking about who you serve in the community, and that's anybody, correct? There's no limitations. Whoever is down on their luck can come in and, get these services. That's right.
Yeah, we want to be an organization. We want to be people who are here to serve all those who are in need. So, anybody who's in need can reach out to the Salvation Army, and whether it's one of the specific programs that we have that we can help them with, or connecting them with one of our partner agencies throughout the community. We do the best we can with other organizations in the area to try to meet every need that we can for those who come to us for help.
And now, speaking on some of the programs that you all offer, what are some of those that you would like to highlight today? Because I know there's a lot. I have a feeling we can't get through all of them.
there are a lot.
But I love that there are so many. So what are some of the few?
Our two largest programs this summer are our summer camp and our mobile feeding units. We received a brand new rapid response unit. It's 3 of its kind in the country.
Oh, wow.
So we're kind of like a guinea pig.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It does not have a kitchen. It does not cook in there. It's to deliver food.
Okay.
So we are delivering produce to the rural areas of King George, Caroline, and Westmoreland County.
Okay.
So in King George and Caroline counties, we're following the food bank, their truck.
Oh, okay.
They deliver pantry items, sometimes dairy, eggs, and we are there with them to give the fresh vegetables.
Wow.
And we're actually going to Bowling Green tomorrow.
Oh, wow, okay.
Where we'll be serving 60 families.
Wow. And thinking about just like fresh produce is the simplest thing that you can give.
And people are so happy when they see it.
I'm sure.
Yes. We work with it's the Virginia Community Food Connections.
Okay.
They're an organization that connects local farms with the nonprofit. So the farm that we work with is Little Green Farms in Thornburg.
Okay.
That's where we get our produce from.
Yeah.
And since we have this mobile canteen, we're able to bring it out to people in the more rural areas.
Oh, wow.
And just seeing their face light up when they see all this like wonderful fresh farm produce.
And because I feel like a lot of us take for granted already that we can get fresh produce and fresh, all of that on an everyday basis, and we choose not to.
Yeah.
But when you're in need and you actually get to see that, it's like a whole gift. It's Christmas for them.
Yes.
Which is it's an amazing thing that you guys get to do. So let me ask this. You also mentioned earlier the emergency disaster services. What are some of those services and how are you able to help the community?
We are, we just received our units.
Yes.
So we're in the beginning process of connecting with other nonprofits, local governments, fire departments, police departments.
Okay.
For our area, it would be on a smaller scale, like if there was a major like apartment complex fire, tornado or something like that. We would be able to go in and provide meals, water. We would be able to provide information for social services, where a list of things of where they can go, what they need. We're also able to provide pastoral care.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As well, for those who are having, you're going through this disaster and this bit of a trauma.
And it's little things you don't think about.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sure, of course, the trauma is the main thing that you're thinking about when this happens. Oh, my gosh, tornado happened, something. I lost everything I had.
Yeah.
But it's the little services that all of us don't think about until you're actually in the thick of it, that you are able to provide.
Yes, and with the new unit that we have, if you drive by our office on Lafayette, you'll see like a major canteen truck.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be getting rid of, because you can't get into the smaller spaces. It's not as mobile. It's not. It's hard to park. So that's what our smaller van. It's a custom made, actually, Ford Transit that's been custom made.
Wow.
And we're able to serve 300 meals from that.
That's amazing, the work that you guys are doing. I'm speaking with Laura and Captain Nathan from the Salvation Army right now. Now, I've heard a little bit about this, but I want to hear from you guys' perspective. What is Camp Rappahannock? And I just want to share a little bit of this, because I've been able to do the research on it. I think it's such a cool program.
Yeah, Camp Rappahannock really is one of the best things that the Salvation Army in our area has going. It recently has undergone a name change. Some in the community may formerly have known it as Camp Happy Land. It's now known as Camp Rappahannock, more fitting in line with the Rappahannock River, which runs right along the camp property. And it's truly an outdoor adventure wonderland for kids, really. It's a summer camp program where kids can go for a week at a time. It's a sleepaway camp, and so we send kids from our area along with other kids from the Salvation Army programs across the state. Okay. To Camp Rappahannock, where they learn all different sorts of things from outdoor wilderness skills. There's archery, there's fishing, there's boating. Wow. We have lakes. They have the rivers there. It's just getting kids into a setting of experiencing the great outdoors, of God's creation, of learning just new skills, learning more about themselves, meeting new friends, all at just a Christ-centered camp that focuses on building them up and just giving them an amazing summer experience.
That, I kind of wish I had a summer experience like that. I'm not going to lie. I never went to camp, but that's exactly how you would think when you see the movies and everything else. That's what it is.
It is. If you see those movies and the TV shows, I know my kids watch them all on the Disney Channel, these summer camp, it really is just like that. And the kids come away with such incredible experiences and end up wanting to go back year after year. And we're blessed and privileged this summer. At this point, I believe we have about 40 kids from our community that we have able to be registered to send so far.
And is it for all ages? Any kid is able to join in on it?
They are, yes. The traditional main camps range from ages 7 through 12, and then they have specific teen camps, both for boys and girls. So up through 18 can go to the teen camps.
That's amazing. I see. That's one of my favorite programs when I was reading up on Salvation Army and different things happening in the area. I was like, that's so cool. Plus, it gives parents a little bit of break during the summer when they're trying to get their things done.
It does as well.
And there is no cost to the parents.
Okay.
Even if the parents are in need of sleeping bag or clothing, we're able to provide that in vouchers through our social services departments.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And also part of the camp is the music conservatory camp.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. And that is 4 weeks.
Okay.
So they go to music camp for 1 week and then another 4 weeks for conservatory. And that's concentrated on music and creative arts.
Really? Interesting.
Yes. And we have 3 kids going this year.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's possibly a good segue into just talking a little bit more about the music programs that the Salvation Army offers. We have a rich tradition and history of music, and especially in instilling music education into kids. And so not only do we do that through our summer camp program, but even here more locally in the fall and in the spring during the school year, we have our own School of Music program that takes place from our church building weekly, where we teach music lessons for free to any child in the community that comes to be a part of our programs, from brass music to piano music to percussion to vocal instruction. They get a little bit of a well-rounded music education through our weekly programs that we offer for free to the community.
And that's a really big thing for a kid, because I grew up in a very entertainment-based family. So grew up playing piano, dancing, theater, and I know how expensive those lessons were. But I also know how much of an expressive art it is. That's how I got my voice and found it. So to be able to allow that to kids and for free is an amazing thing that you guys are doing. So thank you on behalf of them, because I'm a huge advocate for the arts. And I mean, like, huge. So the fact that you're able to do that, and I'm guessing all the instruments are already there for them to practice with.
They are, yeah. Parents don't have to worry about buying any instruments. We have, through donations and supporters around the community, we have all the instruments there that they would need, and can run and check those out for the season and take them home and practice. And yeah, it's really a fantastic program that we offer.
And speaking of those in the community who have already helped out, volunteered, donated, I know many who are listening right now are saying, how can I get involved? How can I volunteer? How can I donate? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
For our volunteers, we are always looking for volunteers for the music programs.
Okay.
So anybody who is able to, a retired piano teacher would be great, you know, or a college student who's taking like music. We would definitely love to have their help. We also need volunteers for our pantry.
Okay.
Between sorting food, bagging up the produce, even going on the canteen to the different sites.
Okay.
Our store also takes volunteers as well. And then during Christmas time, of course, we need volunteers. All they have to do is just call the office or go onto our website.
Okay.
And they can receive information, and anything from high school community hours. We have a young lady tomorrow coming who she needs hours for her sorority.
Okay.
So she's coming in to help organize and clean up our pantry.
Very nice. So anyone can get involved.
Yes.
And what's the website and the phone number that they should look for?
The website is fredericksburgva.potomacsalvationarmy.org.
Okay.
Or if you just Google search the Salvation Army Fredericksburg, you'll
It'll
You'll
pop
find it
out.
right
You'll find it right there,
there. It works out well, right? And how about donations? I know you probably take monetary donations, you take food, you take clothing. What all are you looking to, what is your biggest need right now, I should say, during the summer?
Absolutely. During the summer, I mean, we always need donations of goods and clothes at our family store.
Of course.
And we are accepting those year round. But the summertime is a good time that we need food donations as well for our pantry. While Laura was sharing about all the produce that we've been purchasing and getting in, but the summertime traditionally can be one where our pantry shelves get a little bit more bare with those shelf-stable foods. And so we do continually want to keep supplementing that as well, even as we're tackling our fresh produce in the summertime. But monetary donations, of course, are always the most helpful, because then it allows us to use those funds specifically where they're needed in that particular season. And that can be done online at our website. There's an option to donate online if that's easier. Of course, at Christmas time, when you see those kettles, know that every money that you put into the kettle goes right back into our local community. And then you can stop by our office and talk with us about our services, how they can get involved, and drop off money anytime.
And I would say, I've said this before in terms of donations, in terms of monetary donations. Sometimes it's the best way to do it because you all know how to stretch the dollar compared to some of us who are going out to buy food or different items you need.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's, if you're going for that, that's the best way to do it.
It is. Yeah, it is the most helpful. It just allows us to be a little bit more efficient with the programs and services and the needs that we have at any particular moment in time.
Right.
Because needs are constantly changing, so we might be lacking in something.
Yeah.
And so, that's how we move the funds around. So.
And would you say right now, especially being summertime and kids out of school, that you're finding that the shelves, especially in the pantry and everything, are going off quicker because they can't rely on that meal in school anymore for lunch? Would you say that's a fair point to make?
Yes. With the mobile pantry that we're doing when we follow behind the food bank, there's a certain amount, so we can't get a fair idea.
Okay.
We're getting connections.
Yeah.
We're looking for connections in Westmoreland and churches, ideas where to go, where there's the most need.
Okay.
But food definitely is, especially produce, tends to be very expensive. A lot of the food pantries in the area have the pantry items.
Right.
And the grains and stuff like that. It's more of the fresh fruit, dairy products, meats.
The more expensive for all of us, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm talking with Laura and Captain Nathan from the Salvation Army. Now, you mentioned a minute ago, I wanted to go back to it, the family store. Yes. Let's talk a little bit about that. What is the family store for those who may not know? And how can people get involved, and who is it serving?
Yeah, our family store is our local Salvation Army thrift store. About a year ago, we actually relocated our store to 1275 Emancipation Highway in the Eagle Village Shopping Center. And it's a much larger store than we used to have. And if anybody hasn't been there, go check it out. We have great items that are there for sale. But our thrift store really is a program that's designed to help us in all facets. The money that's raised from the sales of our thrift store go right back into our programs and services to help this community. So know that the purchases that you're making really feed our ability to then serve this community through our social service programs. The thrift store also allows us through our social services to provide clothing vouchers and furniture vouchers for those families that have an emergency situation arise, whether it's a house fire and they've lost furniture and they've lost clothing, or they're just down on their luck and don't have a winter coat when it gets cold outside. They can come to us and receive a voucher to then go and use that to shop for new goods, new clothes, and furniture at our thrift store. Oh,
wow. That's a really cool program to have.
It is. And everything that we have at our store, we rely, again, on donations from the community. And so as you're, maybe looking to do a summer clean of your house and of your wardrobe, please remember the Salvation Army and consider us with your donations, and know that everything that you give to us really goes right back into the community, providing low-cost goods and services to those who need to shop at the thrift store that maybe can't afford some of the higher-end clothes these days. So it's good for those who need to get a cheap bargain, and a lot of the things there are nice, high-quality items that they'll find there. And so we would just, encourage your donations and your support, and know that program just feeds our ability, again, to provide goods and services for this community.
And it's funny you say that, because I have a lot of friends, even my own boyfriend right now, are getting new homes as they've been able to save up, and now they're moving out of their old ones, and they're saying, what do we do with all of this stuff? And the one thing that always comes up, and this is a legit story, is go Salvation Army. just give it that way, you know, because it'll be given to a good home, easier to do that way. And you guys also will pick up at times.
We will as well, yes. So we have a truck that will, you can give us a call and get a pickup scheduled, and we'll come to your home and pick up your large furniture items that you may not be able to transport otherwise.
Right. That's easy and great for, what you're doing for a great cause. That's amazing. Well, I've been speaking with Laura and Captain Nathan with the Salvation Army. We've covered a lot of things here today, how many different programs you guys are able to give back to the community, how responsive the community has been, and how they can donate and volunteer. And I just want to say thank you so much on behalf of the community, because as you said, everybody can have a hand to be able to help and be helped. I think that's my biggest message I try to put on the show is it's okay to ask for help. Yeah. And I'm sure you see many people on different walks of life just come and need that little bit, little extra.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much on behalf of that.
Just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Of course.
And would just encourage the community to, if anything that we've said today, connects with you, then reach out and see how you might be a part of what we're doing here in this community, whether that's through your time as a volunteer and getting engaged in one of our programs, or financially being able to support the programs that we're doing, or even just in prayer and joining with us and trying to do all we can to bring some goodwill and some hope to lift up families in our community.
And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.